Craig. First day back. What was the aim?
Oh, they've had 4 weeks off now, some 5 weeks, so just to make sure that they don't get too low on fitness, and they've obviously got the tournament coming up in Singapore in a little while, so just to get prepared for that.
Can you just take us through the logistics of that when they leave and what they'll be doing in Singapore?
I'm not going, so I'm not across it too much, but it's 10 players. I'm not sure the format of the tournament, but it's pretty much just sort of fly in, do the promotional stuff, play the games, and get as much out of the tournament as we can. It's great for the club to get to go and play in an international tournament like that, and hopefully we can get some joy and some success and maybe win something would be nice. But I think it's just good for the club to have our name attached to something like that.
Obviously, that's the reason this group of players is back so soon.
Yeah, I mean, to send them over there having done nothing for 6 weeks would be too much of a risk. So just probably the next 2 weeks, just get the body going again, get a little bit of fitness into them, and it's only 6 aside, so it's not too big a pitch. And so far so good.
A few injured players. Can you take me through those guys and their injuries at the moment?
Yeah, Ben Kennedy's and Josh Mitchell both had a little clean out on their knee, so nothing major, but probably both off their crutches within the next week, I think, according to the medical staff, and then just a nice steady rehab, and they won't be too far away when we get the whole group back in the start of June.
And what about Sam Galloway? He's also back. It's good to see him and Canner back in the side as well.
Yeah, Sammy and Ben Kanarowski both worked really hard with the medical staff prior to the break, and they weren't too far away when they left, so they're back in. Just need to be a little bit careful with them, but no, they're both fully fit and ready to go.
I understand the club's still looking for another defender. Is that still on the cards? Pretty close to someone signing? I've
been away on holiday as well, so I haven't spoke too much with Robbie, but I know Gary and himself had sat down and got a pretty decent short list of players together, and when the right player is available and they can agree, I'm sure it's something that we want to get done as soon as possible.
How's the pre-season panning out? This group goes away for a couple of weeks, and then when they all sort of filter back different stages?
It's hard. It's hard this year because of the Under-20 World Cup. So we've lost those boys to the 20 World Cup for a period of time. We've obviously got this tournament in Singapore. So we'll do it in stages. This stage is primarily for the boys that are going to Singapore, and then come early June we'll have the majority of the squad here and ready to go. So that'll be the main block of pre-season from June onwards.
And then you expect the young Socceroos, depending how they go, but early July would they have a break then?
They'll have 2 or 3 weeks off when they finish the World Cup. So hopefully for them that's later rather than sooner, and we'll give them a break. We need to be careful not to break anyone, and they haven't had a break since pre-season last year. So it's important they. Especially playing tournament football, it's quite demanding on your body, and when they're done with that World Cup, they're going to need to have a couple of weeks off.
Probably August for them.
Yeah.
But this team that's going away, it's a pretty young team. To be fair, obviously that's the crux of it there.
Yep. No, it's who's available and who can cope with having a limited preparation for a tournament like that. So it's going to be quite hot, obviously, being in Singapore, and small games, small pitch, so it'll be reasonably fast type football, I would imagine. So I think obviously the younger guys can probably cope with that environment a bit better.
Mate, Heskey, Bridgie and Ruben, they obviously shouldered a big workload. Oh, Bridgie didn't, but he's a senior player. Are they back in June, or are they sort of back later?
Bridgie and Ruben will be back, I think, within the next week. They've just had a little bit extra. Zenon as well has had an extra week or so he came here late last year, so he's got some things to tidy up on his own side of things. But Emil comes, I think it was July, August, once he's sorted himself out back home. So it's not ideal to have groups here, there, and everywhere. But in football, it's a world game, and that you have to plan for these things.
What about your pre-season games? I mean, is that mapped out yet, or is he still infancy of doing that?
Oh, we've got preferences, what we would like to do. It's just a matter now of getting opposition locked in and venues, and whether we travel, whether we stay closer to home. Just all the little things that we had a meeting last week with all the staff and the management. So we'll go away and work on those ideas, and hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks just have it all mapped out, ready to go.
With Ben Kanarowski, big year for him, really. I mean, he's sort of off contract, and he's been cruel by injury the last sort of 2 years. Is that why he's sort of in early and chance to get a real good?
I think he wants to have a good season himself. So he's worked extremely hard, probably the last 8 weeks to get to where he's at now. And as you said, he's off contract this year. So you know, it's been tough for Ben the last 2 or 3 years. He had a lot of commitments with underage national teams, and you know, he hasn't been able to have a good, solid, consistent period of time in the team due to that. Hopefully now that next year, you know, he's in an age bracket now where there's not much going on national team wise. So he needs to be ready to go when the season starts, and I'm sure he's expecting a big season from himself.
You anticipate he'll be like a new player?
Oh, absolutely. I think even just seeing him, it's the first time we've sort of seen him with a group in, you know, 4 or 5 months. So you know, it's to see him in action again, and you know, remember that how good a player he is when he's fit and when he's focused, and yeah, it's great for us.